Hello everyone. So welcome to this series for civil services preparation or the UPSC exam or the IAS exam, whatever you call it. And this series is for those people or students who want to prepare for this exam from the scratch, like they are doing it for the first time. Okay. So let me just quickly go through all those questions जो generally लोग पूछते हैं मुझसे. अगर आपको basic introductory video देखनी है, there is the video 1 of this series which you can go to, that is the basic introduction video. But otherwise, answer to some famous questions that when should we start preparing for UPSC exam, and my answer always is as soon as possible. आज से ही कर दो, don't waste time. Okay, which sources should we study from? There are a lot of good sources, lot of bad sources. Do at least one अच्छे से nicely. Okay, and which subject and streams make it easy for us? There is no shortcut, guys. Work hard. अगर हार्ड वर्क करोगे तो हो जाएगा किसी भी स्ट्रीम से किसी भी सब्जेक्ट के साथ. You just have to do it nicely. So whatever you want to do in your graduation, your streams, your subjects, take them. Don't take them for UPSC exam. Take them because you want to learn them. UPSC exam automatically you have to work hard, and if you are good in that, ho jayega. How much will I cover in this series? 10%. But now you will see baki 90% kab karenge. When will we do the rest 90%? First finish 10%. I feel that 90% of you will not do this full series of videos or practice or revise them, and you will not be able to even prepare this much. This is what most of us do. That is why 10 lakhs, 20 lakh people apply and 1 lakh, 2 lakh finally get selected, because 9 lakhs are just passing time. They will just see 1 or 2 videos, they will just read 1 or 2 pages and they will leave. All right, so my suggestion, finish this series. Every day 2 videos are coming and you have to finish both the videos and finish all the videos in a particular time. All right, and there are other questions also. So will I cover the whole syllabus? No, that is what I just shared, but I will help you understand how to begin for this exam. Okay, and to understand the pattern of the exam, you can see the basic introductory video. Which coaching should we go for? Finish this first. Okay, and why am I doing it? Because I have seen when I am working with grade 11 and 12 students, college students, and I have seen that they do waste a lot of time finding the right resources, just doing some random things, going through random YouTube videos, and a lot of coaching institutes unfortunately share so much to prepare that you just stuck on the first topic itself and you never understand the exam itself. So what my intention is, finish these videos, and these videos will help you to understand how to prepare this for this exam in a nice manner, in a crisp manner, and in a smart manner. All right, so this is what I am going to do for all these subjects which are super important for your UPSC preparation. I will make 20 videos, and right now I am working on polity. This is the second video for the polity series. All right, last class I was doing introduction to constitution in last video, and today I am going to talk about fundamental rights. And with that, let's begin now. So this is polity second video. All right, now fundamental rights, I will cover part 1 in this video and part 2 in the next video. First of all, the meaning of fundamental rights. Why do we call them fundamental rights? Now, when you will see the books, you will see the videos, there is a lot of discussion about fundamental rights, and you can continue to spend 60 minutes on this thing. But according to Constitution, the rights which are mentioned in the part 3 of the Constitution, our Constitution has different parts like chapters, और उस हर एक chapter में कुछ articles mentioned है. Okay, articles are like kind of points. So chapters and points. So part 3 में हमारे constitution में जो rights mentioned हैं, they are known as fundamental rights. Of course there is a meaning to them, but अगर कोई right India में उस part 3 में mentioned नहीं है तो वो fundamental right नहीं है. That is not called as fundamental right. That is the basic definition. All right. Agar if we'll discuss what are the type of rights, so you can classify them in 3 with Indian context, not for the whole world, but in Indian context. Fundamental rights which are mentioned in the part 3 of the Constitution. All right, constitutional rights which are there in the Constitution, but they are not in the part 3 of the Constitution. They are somewhere else. For example, right to vote. Right to vote is not mentioned in the part 3, but it is mentioned in the constitution. Therefore, it is a constitutional right, but it is not a fundamental right. What are statutory rights? Statute word agar aap dekhoge, it is related to the law, any law made by the government or something like that, any decision made by the government, something like that. All right. So statutory rights which are not there in the constitution at all, chahe part 3 ya any other part, it is not there at all. Okay, but it has been made by the parliament of the country. That is a statutory right. All right. So these are the 3 type of rights. This you should know. And now let me tell you a little bit, as I was telling in the introductory video also, that when you are preparing for UPSC, think from all these angles, that how can this question be asked in mains exam? How can this question be asked in prelims exam? How can this information be useful in essay? How can this information be used in interview? All these things. All right. For example, let me give you a question that which of the following rights are not a fundamental right? They will give you 4 options: right to life, right to freedom, right to equality, right to vote. So right to vote is the answer because it is not a fundamental right. It is a constitutional right. Essay. Similarly, now there can be something like, what was the need of including right to education in fundamental rights? This can be a 10-mark question in mains GS2 paper. Okay, so then you need to explain what is the benefit of fundamental right, why fundamental rights are fundamental, is there any special protection to them? We will see that there is a special protection to these fundamental rights by our constitution. All right, so that is why right to education was included in the fundamental rights. Then in essay also, such like equality is fundamental to human society. Write an essay on it. Now you may cover the polity angle, you may cover the science angle, you may cover the ethical angle. This is how you prepare an essay. That is why I am telling, if you will understand the topics properly with me, then you are actually preparing for all the exams of civil services, not just for the prelims or not just for the mains. I hope you all are understanding. On this slide, you are just understanding what is the meaning of fundamental right and what are the types of rights. I hope all of you have understood this information. Now moving ahead, how to not prepare. This is very important because when people start preparing for fundamental rights now, if you open a book like a Didi Basu or a Lakshmikant, you will find so much material on fundamental right. There are so many exceptions, there are so many court judgments, there are so many interpretations of fundamental rights. It itself becomes a 2 mahine ka project. But you are not here to do PhD on law or your constitution. You are just here to prepare for the civil services exam. And for that, one thing I would suggest, don't try to dive deep into anything. किसी भी चीज में बहुत ज्यादा घुसना नहीं है, बहुत ज्यादा डिटेल्स में नहीं जाना है for the first time. First time, try to understand what do you need to prepare for UPSC exam. Once you understand that, then you will be able to do it nicely. All right. So this picture is covering 2 parts. One, don't learn the constitution word by word. For this UPSC, you don't need to learn the constitution word by word. So this is also I wanted to cover, that how do you keep in mind that how to not prepare. All right. But at the same time, I also want to use this thing for 2 things. One, part 3. Remember, I was telling fundamental rights are those rights which are mentioned in the part 3 of the constitution. So I have taken this screenshot from the Constitution of India itself, which I downloaded from the Ministry of Law and Justice of the Government of India. All right. So in part 3, fundamental rights, first article 12 and 13 talks about some general things. What are the general things? That in this part, the word state means the government and parliament of India, the government and the legislature of each of the states, and all the local or other authorities within the territory of India or under the control of government of India. So an Indian embassy in US is also state of India. Okay, and in India, any government, municipality, MLA, MP, all are covered into this. So jahan pe bhi ab state word, remember last video maybe I was talking about the state word represents the government actually. All right, this is article 12. Now article 13 says that fundamental rights have a special status. that if any other law in the country is against them, that law will be considered invalid. That law will not be acceptable in India. So fundamental rights are the supreme, the topmost law in the country, which everyone should keep in mind while making any other law in the country. All right, that is what everyone should remember. So this is Article 12 and 13. इसके बाद actual constitution, actual fundamental right ke things start. And first is right to equality, where Article 14 talks about equality before law. I will go into this. And Article 15 talks about prohibition of discrimination on any basis. But this is right to equality only. Right to equality ke under hi Article 14, Article 15, Article 16, Article 17, Article 18 aate hain. What I wanted to show you here कि articles कैसे दिखते हैं. This is one article. This is another article, and on the last screen I show you part 3. So you should be able to visualize what is this part 3 of the Constitution. It's like a chapter start ho raha hai, like fundamental rights. What are the articles? They are like points in that chapter. All right, something like that in the layman language. But I also wanted to tell, no need to learn word by word. But I hope you get thoda sa idea. अच्छा, Article 12, 13, 14, 15 ये कुछ हम पढ़ने वाले हैं. We are going to study about them. Right? So let's jump into Article 14 now, and this is a very, very interesting article. You will enjoy thinking about it also. Right to equality says, word to word, I will go into it. These are the words. Okay, now let's go word by word. The state, remember Article 12, abhi I was showing. What was it saying? That state means government, parliament, state legislature, any authority under the government of India or something like that, right? This is the first part. So state ka meaning, I hope now all of you clear, and kaise use ho raha hai in our constitution. Any person, the state shall not deny to any person. That means any person means like those who are not in Indian. Yes, in India, agar wo hai, even if they are not Indian, even then also state shall not deny any person इक्वालिटी बिफोर द लॉ, यानी कि सब कानून के सामने एक समान है. ऑल आर इक्वल बिफोर द लॉ. देन और इक्वल प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ लॉज. नाउ इक्वालिटी बिफोर द लॉ, लेट मी गिव यू एन एग्जांपल. इफ एनीवन जंप्स द रेड लाइट, if that is a doctor, that is an engineer, that is a rickshaw person, everyone should be fine. This is equality before the law. Everyone is equal. All right, but now equal protection of laws. You can ask कि अच्छा अगर प्राइम मिनिस्टर के लिए तो रेड लाइट पे नहीं रुकते होंगे प्राइम मिनिस्टर, तो हाँ, बिकॉज वो सेफ्टी का इशू है उनके, राइट? सो दैट इज व्हाट. सो इक्वल प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ लॉज आल्सो. सो सारे लॉ, ऑल द लॉज आर नॉट इक्वल. इक्वालिटी, अगर कोई लॉ है, लाइक लॉ इज every person has to stop before the red light except ambulance or the VVIPs. Now this is the law. So उन्होंने clearly define कर दिया ambulance and VVIPs, बाकी सबको रुकना पड़ेगा. This is one law. But now there is another law also, right, that which says that for the protection of VVIPs like president, prime minister, police can control the traffic or stop the traffic. Right? So that is another law. So all the laws should be treated separately and they should be given equal protection. Similarly, equal protection of the law. If I say equality before the law, everyone should be able to go to a public washroom. Then someone can say, hey, why male washroom, female washroom? You can understand, right, that that is a requirement of the society, right? Like for decency, for protection, for safety, for morality, we do need to separate them. Not everyone might be comfortable visiting the similar washrooms, right? So for that, now there are separate law for the protection of women, for the safety of women, for the safety of kids, for the safety of any particular community which has not received enough support in the society so far, or which faced injustice in the past. They need also protection by the government, right? So that is how this law is defined. That is how these two things are defined. Now again, people go into this two aspects, third and fourth point, equality before the law and equal protection of the law, and do research on it. You can also spend your time, but I am telling smart people quickly just grab the concept, basic concept, and move on Don't waste a lot of time. You have to finish all these videos. All right. Last part, within the territory of India. So India is not going to go to Syria and ensure कि सबको equality मिले. India is not going to go to Ukraine. Let's ensure सबको equality मिले. Indian government का responsibility है, Indian state का responsibility है that they should ensure these things within the territory of India. I hope all of you are understanding how word by word it is important to understand the laws. This is what right to equality is, right? It is still interesting. That is how lawyers, judges, they need to understand each and every word. That is why they have to understand law, they have to understand legal aspects, right? All right. Now last question, is it an absolute law? मतलब इससे ऊपर कुछ नहीं बन सकता. मतलब अगर स्टेट ने बोल दिया that state shall not deny to any person equality before the law. No, actually there are not all the laws absolute. जैसे I was also telling, equality before the law की भी exception है ना. So there are certain exceptions. I will tell you there are some rights which are absolute rights also. For example, you cannot exploit a child. Yes, in any case, even if the country is at war, you cannot exploit a child. Even if you are the president, you cannot exploit the child. Or you cannot do untouchability, or you cannot exploit a person in any case, right? These are the absolute laws. But right to equality, kabhi kabhi extra, like everyone should have a right to travel in metro. But what if for the safety of the country, they have to shut down the metro? What if in metro, they have to reserve the seats for the aged people, sometimes for the women also, right? So all these things are considered. So absolute law, which is no exception, and those law which have exceptions, they are not absolute. Let me revise abhi tak kya kya hum kar chuke hain, and you can also revise with me. Article 12, meaning of the state was mentioned. All right. Article 13, that fundamental rights are the supreme. Agar unke khilaf kuch bhi jayega, that law will be cancelled. And Article 14, this article, the right to equality ka first article. All right. Next is Article 15 now. Right. Article 14 abhi humne discuss kiya. Now we are moving to Article 15. And when I generally talk about Article 15, this movie comes to my mind. This was a movie by Ayushmann Khurrana. And if you can see the heading on the top, let's be Indians firstly and lastly. So you can get some idea what is this Article 15 about. This Article 15 says that prohibition, yani ki mana hai, it is not allowed any kind of discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. These are the 5 criteria that you cannot discriminate on the basis of these things. Now you can say, acha, can we discriminate on any other thing? Yes, there are some things allowed. For example, if I say that army mein itne height ka insaan hi allowed hai, that is allowed because you need certain characteristics in army, right? Or for a school where only girls study, we are recruiting only female teachers. That is allowed, right? Okay, in an exam, only those will be allowed. A doctor, only that person can become a doctor who clear NEET exam. That is also allowed. Only that person who clear UPSC exam, they only can become civil servants, right? So such selection is allowed. Discrimination is not allowed. For example, that like let's say government says that from tomorrow, male doctors will get 30,000 salary and female doctors will get 20,000 salaries. This is discrimination. Doctors are doctors. They are equally studying, equally treating. You cannot differentiate on the basis of sex, right? Similarly, on the basis of religion, A religion will get this much money, B religion doctors will get less money. Or those doctors who are born in Delhi will get more money. Those doctors who are born in another state will get less money. Such discrimination is not allowed. All right. And in this article itself, there is some second part which says that state shall not discriminate against any state. So government ki responsibility hai. Now, does it mean that private people are allowed to discriminate? In some cases, yes. Like मैं अपने male दोस्तों के साथ party में जाना चाहता हूँ. That is my choice. I am not discriminating. I am just living my life the way I want to live. But I cannot just go out and treat that that in my company At Clay Lab, only a female teacher can join or only a male teacher can join. This is not allowed. This is discrimination, right? If a teacher is required, a teacher is required, until and unless there are certain special provisions or special kind of school, right? But at the same time, this article is also not absolute. So it says that it shall not prevent the state, yani ki government ko, from making special provision for women and children. Why for these two particular groups? Because in past they didn't get enough support. That is why to correct that social injustice which these two communities received in past, in the world, women faced a lot of injustice. That is why government is trying to ensure that now we can bring equality. That is why special provisions have been created, right? Similarly, nothing in this article shall prevent the state from making any special provisions for the socially and educationally backward classes of citizens. Socially and educationally, you cannot say kal se like ki, okay, who live in that area, those group of citizens, unke khilaf discrimination karo. No, socially and educationally, like a particular community, if this community never got the chance in the past to be part of the governments, to be part of the government jobs, to be part of the system, that is why special reservations were created, right? In article 15, article 16, constitution talks about these things, and that is how government also started with the concept of reservations. All right, so let me just help you understand now that what we have discussed so far we have discussed article 12, meaning of state, right? Article 13, that fundamental rights are superior to other laws, right? And I hope you can recall, pause करके recall भी कर सकते. This is how good students learn. Okay. Article 14, equality before the law, यानी कि सबके सामने अगर कोई law बना है उसके सामने सब equal है. Equal protection of law, which basically means you can like have different laws with a special purpose, and there are all the laws are important and they have their special reason, and they can provide special protection to a particular community or a group of people, and no discrimination on the basis of these 5 things. Now this can come in your prelims exam also, according to article 15, on the basis of which discrimination is not allowed, or which of the following things is not there. For example, they give you an option: religion, race, caste, age. Age के basis पे तो allowed है. 18 से पहले आपको driving license नहीं मिलता है. That is not discrimination, that is safety for the people, right? So article 15 में 5 words हैं, and this you have to remember. So I will tell you what kind of questions are coming in prelims exams, general, mains exam, essay. So conceptual learning is super important. I hope all of you are understanding. And I just gave you an idea about the fundamental rights. All right. Now, what will we do in the next video? We will understand more about the other fundamental rights and see a bigger picture of fundamental rights. But I hope now you have understood in my last 2 videos that introduction to constitution, meaning of constitution, importance of constitution, features of constitution, right? And I was also telling you how to understand that how it can be asked in an essay, how it can be asked in a general studies paper, how it can be asked in a prelims, how it can be asked in an interview. Similarly, fundamental rights, this we covered today, and in next we will discuss fundamental rights. And remember, 20 videos, 20 days, sorry, 10 days, 20 videos. 10 days I will finish all the videos, and you have to finish them in 10 days and prepare by yourself also. If you are a smart student, every day 1 hour to your dream if you want to be a civil servant. With that, we are done for today. Thank you so much. See you in the next meeting. Bye-bye, or video.